Well, hello guys and welcome back to So Magic. I have a little exciting surprise for you guys. Can you guess what it is? I'm sure you can. So it's finally happened. Look what I got from Spotlight the other day. I don't know how long I've been talking about it. I don't know how long I've been asking Singer Australia, when are we getting it? Are we getting it? Are we getting this one? Are we getting the Rose Water 452? Are we getting the Melt Water 432? I mean, there's so many other colors that you can get in this machine, and I am really fortunate that I've been able to, with my own money, purchase the Singer Heavy Duty 4411 in the fetching pink color. So let's do an unboxing. I can't believe it. I am beyond words. I just love it. I love it. Anything that's pink, I love it. So let's get on with the show and check this baby out. Now, little disclaimer, I did open it already, just a sneaky peek, but for the most part this is going to be a unboxing. Okay, so here we go. All right. So we don't need that. And okay, so we have an instruction manual, our Australasia warranty page. Fill that one out soon. Let's have a look at this instruction manual. Blah blah blah. Here's all the stuff that comes with it. Okay, so before we get the beautiful, lovely lady out, let's talk about the 4411. So you can get this machine in the standard grey colour. Some markets, I know our Australian market, the front cap at the front here is a lighter grey than the rest of the machine, and then the dials are, I think, a white colour offhand. So we do have that as a standard model in Australia for the most part, but we get the beautiful pink model, which only just released, when did I get it? 2 days ago, so not yesterday but the day before. So I was perusing the internet marketplace on Facebook for orphaned machines that would like to find a new home, which, by the way, welcome to my new updated studio. I have shelves now, so I have actual storage space. So, and I can store my wonderful machine. So I have my grandmother's 237, is it? Yes, 237 Singer. My mother-in-law's my XL 18W Janome. My beautiful Singer 6705 CHD. And then I've got my book that came with my Janome Memory Craft 1000, which is just underneath the camera, but you can't see it, right next to the Eleanor overlocker. Getting back, I digress. Yeah, so in Australia we have already the grey machine, and it has a lighter grey cap on the end. Some had the lighter grey cap with a lighter grey back, but I think the current model we have at our store, our major chain sewing store Spotlight, we have all grey, but then it has just the lighter grey cap. I'm pretty sure that's the model that we have currently. And I just am so excited that this one has finally arrived. So I picked it up 2 days ago. They retail in Australia for $550. Now, if you are not a Spotlight member and you are in Australia, go and you want this machine or any other machine, doesn't have to be a Singer, it can be an Elna, Janome, Brother, whatever machine that you like, go and get the Spotlight VIP card, sign up, do all that shebang, and then you can get a discount. Now, this machine, and I think pretty sure the standard grey coloured one in the 4411 is $550. Hefty for a, how do I put it? A beginner to advance. I mean, like, it's just a great machine if you are a beginner. It only has 11 stitches. So the number denomination, as I understand, in the Singer lineup is that it's a 44 series and 11 is the 11 stitch model. So this is the 11 stitch model. There's a 32 stitch model, a 52, and then you go up to, like my grey one in the background, the 67, that's a 67 series or a 60 series. So there's a 6605, a 6705 and a 6805. And there's 3 models in the computerized HDs. And then these guys, there's several models of the 44 series. But this guy is the special pink one, which they have in America. They've had this model, I think, for quite a while. They have the beautiful Rosewater 4452, which, oh, I would die if I had that one, but I still love this one. And as I said in my last video, they're like Pokemon. I want to catch them all. So we have this model, which is great that they've brought that to Australia. So yes, getting back to what I was saying before, in Australia at Spotlight, if you're not a member, the full retail price is $550, which is a lot of money for a sewing machine. But if you look at some of the Brothers, some of the Elnas that they sell, they're all around about just under, just over, in the middle. They're all around about the same price, depending on model, how many stitches, if it's computerized, if it's not computerized. It really doesn't matter, in my opinion. Like, I'm sure everyone has their own ideas on what brand is better. Should you go with a Janome? Should you go with a Brother? Should you go with Singer? Should you go with Pfaff? Husqvarna? It doesn't matter really. What matters is if you like it. If you like the machine and it's the machine that you want, then that's the one you should get. Yes, okay, each one has, you know, a lot of people have their own opinions on reliability, on how they're made. I know that most of the ones that we have in Australia, these are made in Taiwan. My machine are both in, no, sorry, not Taiwan, in Vietnam. My God, wash your mouth out. So same as Janome. Oh, hang on, did I get that wrong? My Elna's made in Taiwan. Hang on. Before I start flapping my mouth, did I say that correct first time? Oops. No, I am wrong. Wait, no. I was right. Made in Vietnam. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so that 6705 is made in Vietnam. This Elna overlocker, which I've featured before in a previous video, that's made in Taiwan. Pretty sure the memory craft is made in Well, there you go. The memory craft is made in Thailand. So, see, there goes my research. I'm pretty sure this is made in Vietnam though, for some reason. Anywho, we will see it when we get her out. I'm pretty sure these ones in Australia are a line that comes from Vietnam. Same as my grey one. So anyway, let's crack on because I'm waffling on with so many different things. The ADHD brain. So if you are going to purchase this in Australia from Spotlight, or any machine for that matter, before I went off on my tangent, go and become a VIP member to Spotlight because you get some really good discounts with a lot of the things. I'm pretty sure there's some form of substantial markup. So, you know, whether you're saving money or not, I don't know. I'm not privy to the business of how that works, but all I know is that this machine, or the standard grey one in this model, the 4411, is $550. If you get this with your VIP card, it is $330. So that's a pretty good saving. And I definitely wouldn't complain about that. So, and that's like with most of the other machines they have. I'm pretty sure there's some form of discount with nearly all of the machines. I know with the 6705, I think that retails for $800, $799 or something like that, around the $800 mark. And I got that for, I think it was 700 or 720. It was a fair bit off, but I can't remember offhand. So it was around the late 600s, early 700s. I paid for that, but it was on a sale. And like Spotlight, how they always have awesome sales all year round. So if you miss one in a few months, I'm sure the sale will cycle back around and they'll be on sale again. So you're never really missing out, because I think before I got the 6705, I think maybe from when I first researched for that machine particularly, I think it went through maybe 4 special cycles before I actually got it. And it was the same price every time that the specials came on at Spotlight. So, okay, so I digress because God, I really know how to go off tangent. Okay, so compared to the grey one, this is a full mechanical machine. There's no electronic parts in it besides the fact that it has an LED light instead of incandescent, or an LED bulb that is removable. It has a little circuit board that has a printed like LED little light thing. I don't know what they're called, but it's got one of those, same as the grey one. So that's the only electronic part that's in it. It has, I'm pretty sure it's the one, they don't have this, the 44 series don't have digital motors, they have AC motors. It is a 90 watt motor. And then I know inside my 6705 it is a DC motor, because I have had the bottom plate off for cleaning and oiling. And little background, I am not a trained mechanic, but I have worked on vehicles my whole life. cars. I love cars and I'm a car girl, so I've, you know, have a bit of a mechanical prowess and understanding, so I do most of the servicing for all of my machines, but any warranty stuff goes straight back to the store. I only touch what I'm allowed to touch as a end user for oiling specifications, but once it's out of warranty, go for gold. I rip them apart and then clean them, fix them. My Janome in the background, my mother-in-law's my XL 18W, I had to do a repair on the motor as there was a lot of slop and it wasn't working when you depressed the foot pedal, and so I had to put some shims in it to sort of stop the motor from walking side to side, forward and back, which made it lose connection. So I had to do that to get it to go, and now it goes, but caveat, now for some reason when I put it away it was working and I just needed to put a new bobbin case in it. Got a new bobbin case, threw it in, tried it out, and now the reverse doesn't work. So I'm like, obviously I've done something or I've left something. Anyway, it has to come apart, and it's very simple to undo and just check it over. So I will get to that eventually, and maybe I will do a video of me opening it up and you can see what it looks like inside. But this, I'm only ever going to open where the instruction manual says to open for oiling. Now, most machines, they have their own, like some machines are non-oiling. You don't, as an end user, have to oil them. They're like sealed or long lifetime oiled, which I find ridiculous because most of the technicians I know, and namely the lovely Adam from ProSo, he recommends that any machine, regardless to whether manufacturer says to or not, that over time, especially extensive period of times, or if the machine just sits dormant in your wardrobe cupboard, wherever, eventually that oil is going to dry out and the machine's not going to work right. It will need oiling, and if you're using it a lot, you need to keep up with an oiling schedule, maybe even twice a year, maybe a few times a year, depending how much you use it. If you're using your machine every day, at least once every 6 months, oil it. Can't stress that enough, because that Janome, even though I fixed or temporarily fixed the motor, it does it seems to go quite slow. So I feel like it needs a full pull down, which I will get around to it and I might do a video. Anyway, back to this one. If you are going to oil it, I'm pretty sure there's a schedule that you can do. I don't know offhand if it's in the instruction book, it might be, but I do know that with the grey one, just from having a look at a service tech manual, where the oiling points are for that. So, you know, removing the covers and then accessing areas to put a couple of drops of oil in certain areas. Because a lot of the bearings inside, they have, some of them have like a felt that will absorb the oil and that will help maintain lubrication throughout the servicing period, and then eventually by the time your machine goes to a technician, hopefully they haven't ran dry, and you can always tell if the machine is starting to get a little dry with oil is that it'll start to make a clacking noise. Like it would sound quite rough. It might sound quite smooth and quiet, and then eventually it starts to sound a little loud and a bit more clacky. Oh, so many cars driving past and they're so loud. Okay, so that's that. And then back to my other point about Spotlight. If you are looking at buying this machine or any machine, doesn't matter what machine, make sure that you're a VIP member. You save money, and you save money on so many things like threads. Sometimes they have specials on different types of fabric, you know, accessories, everything. There's always specials, so you know, check them out. But let's get on with this one. What can I say here? This is, as I said before, an 11 stitch model. Then you have the 4432, which is 32 stitches. The 4452 is 52 stitches, and so on. Oh, and there's a 4423, which is a 23 stitch. So there's so many different models. And then also, yes, this machine is a full mechanical machine. I think that's what I was talking about before I went on a second tangent. Yeah, this is a full mechanical machine. The grey one is a computerized machine. There is circuitry and electronic gubbins in that, where this one, no electronic gubbins except for an AC motor and an LED light. All the rest of it is all mechanical. What can I say when it comes to quality? Look, it's a sewing machine. If you want to spend as little money as possible, you're not going to get a machine that has, I mean, a lot of other machines come with a metal frame. This one comes with a metal frame. Heavy duty, I'd say yes in terms of its body structure, because some other machines, they're full plastic molded chassis with no metal frame in them. I know a lot of the cheaper machines, some of the kids style little mini sewing machines, they don't have metal frames in them for the most part, and they're all sort of plastic molded with structural webbing inside them to give them strength, but they do flex and they can warp and they can then go out of time, and they're literally full of plastic. Where this one, and I know with my grey one, it has a metal internal frame so that it stops warping and flexing in the body itself. And then that also helps ensure that all the rods that run across the top and the bottom don't flex, so the machine runs smoother. And then you've got some gears in here. Most machines these days have nylon gears. Most of them have plastic nylon gears for the most part, and then some of the real expensive machines have just all metal gears. But then some machines that are really expensive that I've had a look at also have nylon plastic gears. So, you know, we can argue all day with what's happening internally in machines, but I look at it this: if you're looking for a machine and you're a beginner sewer, or even someone who already sews but you're looking for a new machine because your machine died, or maybe something to update with, look, get one of these. You know, $330, and it's a pretty, you know, good basic setup. Have a look at the brothers. I mean, but then again, when you look at some of the brothers, some of the cheaper end ones do not have metal frames. More of the, like, the tough, what's it, the Strong and Tough, I think has a metal frame, but some of the cheaper ones that are only less than $200 or maybe just under $250. Most of them don't. I'm pretty sure they only have a plastic body. There's no metal frame in them. So if that's something that worries you, yeah, okay, don't go for the cheaper ones. If you want something with a bit of rigidity, so it makes better structural integrity, sewing heavier projects like denim, light canvas, this machine can do a fair bit, but it ain't an industrial machine. Like, it doesn't say heavy duty industrial, it says just heavy duty. Now that's very broad. What determines heavy duty? Well, if you think in terms of, for the average sewer that wants to sew an assortment of fabrics within reason, yeah, okay, this would be considered a lot more heavy duty than some of the toy-like machines, or even some of the machines that don't have metal frames that are very easy to go out of time if you drop them, if you warp them. If you try to sew 10 layers of denim in one of them, you probably could do it, but then if you kept repeatedly doing that, you'd probably destroy the machine. So, and I mean, you could probably destroy this machine if you did that to it. Anyway, I think heavy duty is just basically saying it's a little bit more tougher than a bog stock, cheap machine. And the Janome, my XL, that's got a metal frame. This Singer, my Nan Singer, that is full metal, completely metal. Even all the stuff inside it, it's all metal. There's like no plastic or Bakelite gears or anything. It's all completely mechanical. So this machine would be considered, I don't know, extremely heavy duty for a domestic machine, especially if you were to put like this onto a mounting table with a motor underneath. God, that would be almost on par with some industrials, really, because there's no plastic parts in the for the most part, the running gear of it. Where I know in my Singers, or in that one, the hook race and everything like that is all metal. The gear driving the hook race for the bobbin is metal, but the upper rod that controls the needle and the lower rod that controls the bottom half of the machine, they are connected by a toothed belt, and they ride on nylon gears. Now, most machines do. So, you know, it's up to you what you want to spend your money on, love. Like, you can spend a crap ton of money on a machine. Are you going to use all those functions? Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, my Janome MC1000 is a $2,000, well, actually, I think it's almost a $3,000 machine, but they are on special. I think they're still on special for just under $2,000, $1,999. That's what I paid for mine. And it has so much functions, but it's also a sewing and embroidery machine. So that's a lot of money, and not everyone's got $2,000 to throw on a sewing machine. So, you know, I don't know. It's all subjective. It's really up to you as a buyer. If you love Janome, look at a Janome. If you love a Singer, look at a Singer. If you love Brothers, Fafs, Husqvarna, it doesn't matter what brand it is. If you love it, that's the one you should get. Yes, okay, if you were going to spend money on a machine, or your first machine, second machine, and you don't want to buy it and then it ends up being a lemon, well, sweetheart, you would have some form of warranty if you just bought it, and if it broke within that warranty period, send it back. Get your money back, swap it for a different one. I mean, like, it would be really cool if machine shops would, I don't know, maybe have some machines on stock that are used for hire, and then maybe you could try it out and see if you like it. And if you don't like it, then don't buy that one. But anyway, let's get cracking because I'm waffling on again on more tangents. But this machine, I'm so excited about. So let's get on about this machine. So we got the basic instruction manual, which has all of its basic functions. It's got 11 stitches. It comes with 3 extra bobbins. They're a class 15 transparent plastic, not plastic. I did research something about plastic bobbins. To me, they're plastic, but then some brands or some manufacturers, the bobbin is infused with other properties that, you know, do this and do that and blah blah blah. So for the most part, a bobbin is a bobbin to me in terms of what it's made of. But yes, each machine, or brand I should say, use the correct bobbin for the machine you have. Now there's lots of generic bobbins that go, yep, class 15 bobbin, stick it in anything. I'd be dubious about sticking any bobbin in any machine, because each machine has a specific size or a number, a letter, a number and letter. These, I'm pretty sure, will take a 15J bobbin. My Janome MC1000 is a class 15 bobbin, but the 15J and the class 15 bobbin, they look identically the same. I know there was a description about bobbins that the upper and lower flange of the bobbin itself on a particular brand or character that has like the J or whatever has like slight tapering, which I don't know. There's all this information about bobbins that I didn't even know. I just thought if it's a class 15 bobbin, you stick a class 15 bobbin in, but there's a 15J and then there's a 15, and then there's too many. Just to alleviate stress, buy the appropriate equipment for the stuff that you have. It just, then you won't have thread issues. Well, hopefully you won't have thread issues. Get the correct accessories for your machine. If it says it's a generic product and it says it will work in your machine, go right ahead, try it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, take it back to the store, explain why it didn't work, and then just buy genuine or whatever. It's up to you. But I was putting generic bobbins in my machines, and for the most part they worked, but then sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they would catch, sometimes I'd get bird nesting on the top, bird nesting on the bottom. I was starting to get thread issues, and I had changed my needles, checked all my settings, ensured that I threaded the machine with the presser foot up, because otherwise the tension discs will not be open. I've made sure that the thread coming off the spool was coming off in the right direction, because there is some machines prefer a direction of how it unthreads. Some spools must be placed vertically, some are horizontally. It's a whole big thing, but make sure when it comes to bobbins, use the correct bobbin for your machine. Okay, so it comes with 3 bobbins. It comes with a felt pad. It comes with a spool cap, 2 sizes, large and small, for various thread spool styles. Auxiliary spool pin, brush and seam ripper. like cleaning brush, I guess, used to remove stitches, brush off lint. It comes with an L screwdriver. I don't like the screwdrivers that come with them. They're so, look, I got big giant hands, so when I'm utilizing that L screwdriver, it's a bit of a, I mean, it's good because it's small and you can get in there, but then my big hands, I don't know, I'd rather use a normal screwdriver. And then it has an edge quilting guide, which is awesome. So if you are doing quilting and you want to do the spaces evenly between the stitches, then that guide makes that job much easier. Included accessories not pictured are a pack of needles, the foot control and power cord, which is an all-in-one unit. The computerized machines have separate foot pedal and power cord because they're computerized. You can run them without a foot pedal. But these guys, they're just the typical all-in-one, like most brands. They've got a power cord and a foot pedal cord all in one, plugs in the machine, and then you're done. Comes with an all-purpose foot, which is attached on the machine, and we've got a zipper foot, a 4-step buttonhole foot. Now, it is not an automatic button holder, it is a manual button holder in terms of its operation. And as we go along with other videos, I'm pretty sure I will show you that the difference between the grey 6705, which is an automatic button holder, it's I guess like a one-step forget. You put it in, you put it on, put the settings on, you put the button in so that it knows what size the button is. You pull this little lever down, that lever will tell it as it moves up and down where to stop and then do the second stage of the buttonhole, and when it finishes that, then it starts going down. So it goes up one side, across at the end, then it comes back down the other side and then finishes off at the front. And then it does it all by itself. This does not have an automatic buttonholer, so it does come with a buttonhole foot, but it has buttonhole programs, but it is all manual. You'll have to mark it out. However you do it with chalk, pen, pencil, pins, whatever you decide, but you will have to measure the buttonhole yourself before you use the buttonhole. So I will show you that in later on videos. So this machine has, okay, so the utility stitches, we have the standard straight stitch, a zigzag stitch, a multi-step zigzag stitch, a blind hem stitch, a stretch blind hem stitch, and a buttonhole. That's the 6 basic utility stitches, yeah? And then you've got, on the top of the machine, you have your stitch width or needle position dial, you have a stitch length, you have the tension dial for the thread tension, upper thread tension, your reverse lever, you have what else we got? Your program dial here. On the back of the machine, you can drop the feed dogs. This has the little switch at under the free arm. You can flick that across so that your feed dogs can drop down if you are doing quilting or free motion quilting or darning, embroidery, freehand embroidery. This is not an embroidery machine, but you can freehand embroider with nearly any machine for that matter. You just have to have the appropriate foot. So that's that. Decorative stitches, what's it say in here? Your machine also features decorative stitches. These stitches not described in the previous chart are decorative stitches. When sewing the decorative stitches, make sure to use stabilizer underneath the fabric for better appearance. Use a thread tension between 3 to 5. Always test sew on a piece of scrap of fabric and adjust the tension if necessary. Well, you should do that with any machine. Okay, so all the standard stuff. Spool pin, main spool pin, auxiliary spool pin. Yes, it has an auxiliary spool pin, which is awesome because if you want to use twin needle. Winding bobbin. So this instruction manual is pretty good. It's black and white, you know, but for the most part, it's better than nothing. It's better than getting some products where they give you a QR code or like seriously, this is ample, you know, for a basic instruction book. You could be fancy, like the Janome 1000, have a big spiral bound book, but you know, a book is great. I'm a tactile person. I like books. I like to have something that I can physically touch, hold, flip through. I hate QR codes. Like, young kids these days are very savvy with technology. Awesome. If that's you, you do you. I prefer a real book, at least for basic stuff. Okay, it's got stuff about bringing up the bobbin thread, needles, different styles of needles, what happens if you, certain conditions happen to the needle, you bend it or whatever. Needle sizes, needle size, fabric and thread, changing the needles for tension, so without feed teeth, presser foot pressure, which is cool because some machines do not have the ability to change how much downforce pressure the presser foot has. Some machines are a fixed presser foot pressure amount, where some machines, which I think personally are much better, if you can adjust how much pressure the foot has on the feed dogs, because some fabrics that are light like tulle, organza, sometimes too much pressure can cause it to, as you're sewing, curl the fabric, and then others, if it's like too much pressure, it will curl the fabric. If it's not enough, it won't feed through properly. If it's a heavier fabric, it may bunch up under the foot and it won't feed through if it is too, like if the force is too strong, so you have to wind it back to a lighter pressure so that it can pull it through. So, you know, the fact that this basic model can do that and have adjustable foot pressure, thumbs up. I've had machines that didn't have that, and it's very frustrating when you're trying to run particular fabrics through and you can't adjust the pressure. My Elna, what was that? It was an Elna Alina 40, beautiful machine. It was a, for the most part, a computerized machine in terms of, it wasn't a fancy one, but it was a computerized machine. It was a fantastic domestic machine, but you could not change the foot pressure, and so I had issues with certain fabrics. It would snag, or it would the fabric would just stay in one spot. The feed dogs are trying to pull it through, but nothing's happening, and there was just like problems, and it was very frustrating. Okay, we've got operating your machine, select a stitch, stitch length, stitch width, needle position dial, sew in reverse, sewing in general, start to sew, straight stitch, change direction, finishing sewing, multi-step zigzag stitch, blind hems, darning and mending, repair smaller holes, repair tears, 4-step buttonhole, corded buttonhole balance, button sewing, sewing zippers, centered zipper. Is that like invisible? Yeah, I would assume that would be like an invisible. Cleaning the machine. Okay, cleaning the bobbin area, cleaning under the needle plate, and then troubleshooting So it's got some information, it's got some good technical information. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. Technical specifications, type of foot control. No one needs to know about that. In Australia, we use 240 volts, 220 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz. This machine is rated voltage is 220 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz, 127 volts 60 hertz, 120 volts 60 hertz, and 100 volts 50 to 60 hertz. So that's cool. This machine can do many types of voltages around the world. So maybe, I wonder if my computerized does this or has that rated voltage, because that's great if you want to buy a particular machine and you want to take it with you to a different country and use a different voltage. That is really handy that the machine is rated to use these various voltage types, because I know in America they use 120 volts, we use 240, UK use 240, Europe, do they use 120? Not sure, but that's great. It has many different options. Sewing speed, maximum 1000 plus minus 100 RPM using straight stitch with default stitch length. Okay. Press of foot rise height is 6.5 millimeters. Stitch width is 6 millimeters, so that's how wide the zigzag can go, is no bigger than 6 mil. Stitch length no longer than 4 mil. I don't know what that's in inches because we live in the land of not imperial. What do you call it? Standard or whatever. So I don't know what the imperial measurements are, but you can look that up yourself. Protection class 2 Europe, type of light, LED light, and weight 6.6 kilos. So there we go. That's the instruction book and no one cares. Okay, I think we've waited long enough. Let's get her out. I'm gonna put her on the floor because it's just easier that way. Okay, here we go. Oh, plastic bag, we don't need that. This is, look, if I was paying $550 for this machine, now I can say this because I paid money for this machine. I paid my own money. I didn't get sponsored. They didn't give me this machine, even though I have a lot of Singer machines. I'm not affiliated with Singer or Janome or Elna or any other brand. I just love sewing and I love sewing machines. And so I can say what I want, which is good because I want to be able to say what I want, because I want to be unbiased as much as I can be. Obviously I'm going to have some biased opinion about certain things, but machines and brands themselves, look, I don't care what brand it is. If it's a good machine, it's a good machine. If it's not a great machine, then it's not a great machine. Like, a lot of that's subjective, but I don't not like a machine because of a brand name. I don't like it if out of the box it's been a lemon. And you know, anything can be a lemon. So anyway, but for $550 Singer, come on guys. I mean, it's better than not coming with the dust cover, but what's this? I know my grey machine, it's an expensive machine for, you know, for the most me mortals that don't have a lot of money, per se. This is like, I don't know, this is like the same fabric for pillow protectors. I mean, it's better than nothing. It came with the machine. Shut up, Peter. But I mean, I had the same one with my 6705, and that was almost an $800 machine. This is a $550 machine, and I got it on discount because I'm a VIP member with Spotlight. And I mean, like, come on, what is this? You know, I mean, it's better than nothing, but still, don't like that. I don't like any machine that comes with that sort of, I shouldn't say that, it's not that I don't like the machine, I don't like the cover. Any cover like that, because to me, whether you're spending I think if you're spending more than $200 on anything, when it comes to sewing machines, come on, like really, a nice vinyl cover or whatever, something that's a bit more durable, a bit thicker, that's just a pillowcase. All right, here we go. Here she is, whoopsie. Oh, we don't need this. Oh, well, it's not polystyrene, but it's like that rubberized stuff. Oh, don't like that. All that. Okay, so here she is. So excited. I've been wanting the pink machine for so long. My mum's like, yeah, you should get the pink machine and then you can sell the grey one. I'm like, over my dead body. And then my partner, he was like, oh, well, you got your pink one, you can sell the grey one. No, I am not selling anything. Well, look, to tell the truth, I have, what, 6 sewing machines, 6, and an overlocker. Now, I'm sure a lot of people say that's excessive, but in my mind, people collect baseball cards, Pokemon cards, crystals, whatever. You have your things you like and you collect them. Well, I love sewing and I love machines, and if I like a machine, well, I feel like if I want it, I should get it. Don't ask me how many vacuum cleaners I have. I have so many vacuum cleaners. That's another story. I do like vacuum cleaners. And I have way too many that one should have. But then again, I don't know, is 15 vacuum cleaners wrong? Probably. I probably need to see somebody about it, but I like it. So okay, this is the box on that side, yeah? Cool. This is the box on the top, just in case you're wondering what it looks like. That side, underside, done with the box. Let's go with the pink. More styrofoamy thing, yuck. More plastic. Come on, guys, enough of everything's made of plastic. What? Can't we just use, what about those, they could use this material to wrap things in, I don't know, instead of this. Anyway, basic foot control, here we go. Unwrap, twisting around, oh, just break it, Peter. Okay, so this is what I mean. It is an all-in-one plug, 3-pin socket plug thing, 2 leads coming out of it. One's for your foot control, the other plugs into your wall socket. In Australia, we use a 2 or 3-pin plug. This is a 2-pin plug with slanted pins. Some are vertically straight in different markets, different countries. Ours are like that. Just in case you wanted to know. I don't know who would want to know, but there you go. Okay. Ooh. This machine, like other singers, all come with a free arm. Now, some machines don't. Some have a little stubby free arm. That's a bit of a joke. This has a standard free arm. So how cool is this? The tray comes out, pretty sure offhand you can get, let's see if I know they say they're a different part number, blah, 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 but I had to get this for my 6705 because I do quilting and I like to free motion quilt designs and stuff on my quilts, and did I say quilt? Too many times. So I got the extension table. I wish they would bring a matching pink one for this guy, because, you know, look, I love accessories. If I buy a product, I kind of want all the accessories that go with it, because I'm that girl. So here we go. This is for the 6705. It says it won't fit. It's supposed to be for only the 60 series machines, the 6605, 6705, 6805C machines. This only fits them, and then there was boxes with other ones for the 44 series. So they say it doesn't fit. And I can confirm it don't fit. Nope, not the same size. So there you go. Get the correct extension table for your machine, because this does not fit any of the 44 series. So yes, it is a different size. Well, something I wanted to know, and I thought, oh, maybe it's a marketing thing and they're saying it won't fit. I'll fix that later. Now, I like some machines that have the cap swings open. This Janome does. That opens up, change the light bulb. That Singer's a fixed cap, doesn't come off. My grey one doesn't open. This one, same as the grey one, does not open. You have to unscrew it here to remove any dust, if your thread gets caught, or you get things trapped in there, or I don't know what you'd get trapped in there, but bird nests, or if it gets jammed, that cap can come off. But like, really, is it really that much to put a hinge and a little thing and so you can swing it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking too much. We got a spool cap, or no, not cap, a spool stopper? I don't know, that thing. Hold your spools on. It comes with, I think it comes with a couple of different sizes. We have your bobbin winder, automatic bobbin winding. Like a lot of machines, you swing this across, and then it disengages the bottom half of the machine, so then you can wind your bobbins and it doesn't run your feed dogs or your needle. It will just spin this little guy, and then you can fill your bobbins. Some machines don't like those machines. You have to keep the presser foot up, otherwise you can damage your foot if the feed dogs are scraping past, because you've got to wind a bobbin. If that bobbin, if you have that issue, I would recommend a separate bobbin winder, because then it just makes life easy, because you don't have to unthread the machine. I mean, it's not really that much of an issue, but for some people it is. But I like this. I like machines that is simple. With a flick of the do-the-la key, you can flick it across, wind your bobbin, flick it back, and then you're back to sewing. Here's the dial on the top. If we move her down, there's the dial on the top, so you can change the presser foot tension. The one on the grey one is taller, so you can just do it by hand. This is very stubby. Don't know why they had to do it that way. I don't know, is it cost cutting? Maybe, but anyway, you can use your L screwdriver that I'm not a fan of. There's a slot in the top, you can use that to adjust your clockwise plus for tightening, anti-clockwise for lefty loosey, righty tighty, whatever that saying is. Same as the grey one, that one up here, you've got your your thread guide, you got the little thread guide, you have your bobbin winding tension disc, you got your tension dial, you have your needle position, and then your needle width, your hand wheel. Please, for the love of God, or whoever you pray to, for the love of the universe, hand wheel always towards yourself. Wind always towards yourself. Do not wind backwards. It doesn't do, I shouldn't say that. For the most part, if you have to, if you are like, say, got a thread stuck and you're trying to pull your fabric out and the needle's up but the fabric's still stuck in there because the thread's stuck in the bobbin area, and it's like, what do? You may need to rock the machine backwards and forwards. So you may have to wind the hand wheel backwards and forwards. For the most part, that's not a problem. You may have to do that to help loosen what's happening, but for the most part, do not wind your hand wheel in a clockwise position or direction, because it is designed to only spin counterclockwise, yeah? So it's always designed to rotate towards you. And that's because if you wind backwards, it is designed where the belt that runs from the top to the bottom is to continuously spin in one direction. If you spin in the opposite direction, for some, I don't know how bad that would be. I've had machines apart and they're toothed belts, so they shouldn't just skip, but I guess some have auto tensioning, maybe some have, tensioners that are physically set, so you can't untension them unintentionally. But most texts will say, do not wind your hand wheel clockwise. Do not spin this backwards. Always spin it towards you. That's how it was intended. That's how the machine works. If you do that and go backwards, it may cause an issue. It may skip to, I don't know. There's just a rule, don't do it. And I follow it, I don't do it. Even when I've worked on machines to repair or fix, I don't wind them backwards unless I really have to. But, I mean, every now and then I do a little cheeky wind back if I'm, gone a bit too far forward in where I wanted to stop. And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to sort of go there, I want to kind of go back a stitch. So I am known to wind it back a stitch or two. If you do need to go back, push, if you have a machine that has a reverse lever, push the lever down or crank the hand wheel towards you, and it should start stitching backwards. Or better still, just watch what you're doing and just try not to wind this guy the wrong direction. Because apparently, I don't know, maybe the machine will blow up. No, it won't blow up, but you could cause timing issues, something. I do know that with the hook race, as the hook spins around to capture the thread from the needle, spinning it backwards can cause all the thread in there to knot up, and then that's probably why they say don't spin it backwards, because you're then spinning the hook race backwards, and then it can cause a knot, and then it can get stuck. You could break a needle, break the hook race, I don't know, you probably could break it. So for the most part, do not wind them incorrectly. Wind the hand wheel towards you, yeah? So we have a dial on the side. Now this is when you're doing buttonholes. If you're finding that the buttonhole is too loose, like when you do a buttonhole, it does a tighter zigzag up one side. Then it stitches a, what do you call them? It's like a zigzag, but it doesn't move. It just, what do they call them? I don't know, they use them for tacking, end tacks maybe. Bar tacks. They call them bar tacks because they are strong, and they do that on where the end of a seam to really give it structural integrity. So the bar tacks at the start and finish of a buttonhole, that's like a zigzag that doesn't move. It goes both sides of the zigzagged edges or lines. Those bar tacks, if the zigzag in between from the start and end bar tack looks quite separated, or the zigzags are quite far apart, you can tighten those so that it looks better, or if it's the stitch alignment looks incorrect. So if you're doing some of the decorative stitches and they're not stitching where they should be close together, then you can use this little dial, which I will show you, to either increase or decrease the stitches. So, you know, if they're too close together, you can increase it. If it's too far apart, then you can decrease it. So that's that guide there. There's the power switch, on, off. There's the plug, the vent for the motor. It is a 90 watt motor, and it is, I'm pretty sure, a AC motor. So you got a bit of get up and go. It's gonna stab through nearly anything within reason. I mean, like, it's not gonna go through 20 layers of denim. It probably would do 10 layers of denim. It'll probably do even certain thicknesses of leather. But are you really going to buy this machine for those intended purposes? No. This is a, for the most part, I say a heavy duty apparel machine, crafting machine. It's a heavy duty in terms of it's not a plastic chassis. The whole body is not responsible for, or the shell is not responsible for where all the stuff stays aligned. There's a metal frame inside that keeps it all aligned and sturdy and prevents flexing, makes the machine much more stable, and it allows it to have a better, I guess with the 90 watt motor, it has better ability of piercing power, because the head of the machine up here and the foot of the machine, they don't flex like this. So if that's flexing through here, then you're gonna have issues with stitching or doing anything. And that means that the fabric is too dense for it to stitch if the head is flexing up and down, because then that changes the depth of your needle and it, yeah. So that's why machines that don't have metal frames tend to not last very long, and they tend to break, and they tend to get out of time, and they're only structural, the only structural thing inside them is just plastic webbing to make them tougher, but they're not tough. They are terrible in that respect. If you're just doing little mending things and you're doing little artsy things, maybe with some felt or whatever, and little crafty things, or are you just intending it to buy a machine for a little kid, and you're not too worried if they break it or whatever, and you only want to spend less than $100 on, you know, someone who's wanting to, don't buy, whoever wants to sew, if someone wants to learn how to sew, set them up for success by getting them a machine that is not crap, okay? And what I mean crap as in, don't go buy them a $30, $50, $80, even an $80 cheap toy machine, because they're not going to have a great experience. You're most likely going to have issues with that machine. But if you want this machine, $330 a Spotlight. If you want, I think it's an Elna, don't know what number series. They're a few $100s. They're all relatively around the $2 to $600. All these machines sort of range around that. Most 44 series start from about, this is the cheapest model, which is $330, $550 without VIP. That one was like $800, but I got it for $720 VIP. My Elna Alina, I think, was an $700 machine, 600 and something, $699 I think it was, 15 years ago. You know, if a beginner sewer, a few $100s is enough. $200 to $300, perfect, because it is a proper machine. Don't get someone who really wants to learn how to sew and do well a $80 eBay toy machine. Like, maybe I've had one, it was a Mistral one from the post office, and for the most part it is identical to the ones you get on Spotlight for about $80. Those little baby sewing machines, they're okay for mending and the occasional, you know, but I had ideas that, oh cool, I can use that when I'm sitting in bed or on the lounge and I just want to do little fiddly things or make little tiny like scrunchies and whatever. It was a pain to use because the throat space is tiny, the machine's very light, so it flops around. Like, this isn't heavy, but it's, you know, it has a bit of weight to it, so, you know, it's not super light, but it has a bit of heft to it because it has a metal frame. Now, I don't care what metal it is. The fact that it is a metal frame is great because it helps with rigidity. We can argue all day if it's aluminium, is it zinc, is it blah blah blah, no one cares. If what you do or what you should care about is that, you know, hopefully what you're buying is good quality. Now, I believe Singer, which is part of the SVP group, Singer, Viking and Pfaff, I don't know, they're great machines. I like them. You don't have to like them, but I like them. Janome, I love Janome. Great brand too. Wonderful brand. Never really had ever an issue with a Janome, never had an issue with a Singer. I mean, everyone has their opinion on certain brands, but I'm not particularly a brand snob. I like what I like. I like machines for many different reasons and not just on brand name merit. Like, I don't care. If it looks good, works good, and does the job, happy camper. If it doesn't work straight out of the box, I am pissed. So anyway, I think I've gone on enough with this. But here she is. She's lovely, she's beautiful. I just love her. Good sturdy handle. I've never had a machine handle break off. Like, either you've had serious manufacturing defects or you're very rough with your machines, or I don't know. I've never had a machine's handle break off. I mean, old machines that are like 30 years old and have been sitting in the sun, yeah, they're probably gonna break off, but I've never had a machine handle break off on me. Touch wood. Is there wood around here? Oh yeah, MDF, that's wood. So this is her, this is this side, and then that side, and then this side, and in case anybody cares, that's what it looks like underneath, okay? Oh, so I can show you on the back here is the feed dog switch. So you flick that to this side, drops the feed dogs. then you can do freehand embroidering, free motion quilting, blah blah blah. It's great for dropping the feed dogs. And then switch that back across to put them back up. I just love it. It's such a nice machine. Well, yeah, because it's pink. Let's pop that there. Okay. Front of the little caddy here opens up for all your goodies. Spool cap, spool pin with felt, pack of needles. That's excellent. Bobbin. What do you call them things again? Quilting guide. Another bobbin. Zipper foot. Button foot. Great. Love it. Holds onto your button, stops your button from flinging off. You can pop that on top of your button on the presser foot, take that presser foot off, put this foot on, put your button on there, line up the holes, check to make sure that the needle goes through both holes evenly without snagging or getting stuck. And then you can proceed with stitching on a button. Much quicker. Some people prefer doing it by hand. I like machine stitching on buttons because I'm lazy and I like to do things really fast. So there you go. Seam ripper. Stock standard seam ripper that most machines come with a cleaning brush. That's better than nothing. Screwdriver. Hate this screwdriver because I have big hands that are not very nimble when you are undoing things, but it's better than not having anything. And I guess being small, it's a packaging thing, so you can stick it in here and it's not bulky. Here's your button foot, buttonhole foot. Another bobbin, so let's put those back in. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Wonderful. Pop this on. Who wants to see her on? I need to stop touching my nose. Oh God. Okay, here we go. I'm going to plug her in. If I can find where I put the plugs, because I rearranged the room when I did the shelves. So please excuse me, I am going to duck under the table and plug her in. Oh, foot pedal on the floor. Don't try this at home, kids, or don't follow what I'm doing because there is risk of electric shock if you don't do things correctly. So do not follow what I'm doing. This is just for entertainment purposes, right? Plug her in. See? Plugs in on the side. It only goes in one direction because the plug has a special mold. You can only pop the plug in one way. You can't plug it in upside down because it won't go in the socket. Okay, that's on. Let's turn the baby on. Ta-da! Awesome. So I'm going to probably have to buy another strip light from Adam from Proso because I like extra light in the bed, in the throat space, bed space, whatever you want to call it. I have done that to my grey one. Love it. My Janome MC1000 has two lights, one under the above the presser foot, but it also has one under here because it is also an embroidery machine, so it's imperative that you can see the whole bed. That has it. It is a $2,000 machine. This is a $330 machine. It has a light. Some machines don't have lights. That is weird. But this machine, like most of the Singer lineup, they all have lights. So it's weird. I put a light on a machine. I'm sure it doesn't cost that much to put a light. But extra bed light, I may just get an extension. I might get those LED extensions like I've got on the grey one, put it on this, and then I'll be happy and I'll be like, oh, it's got lights, yay. This machine is going to be my all-purpose traveling companion basic stitch machine, because it is basic. It only has 11 stitches for the most part. If you want to count each stitch because of different position and width and whatever, it's up to you how you interpret that. But this machine is going to be my little mending machine, my basic stitch machine. I'm going to be doing so much stuff, so I'm going to have a machine that's going to be set up for embroidery, or that one. The MC1000, that's going to be set up for embroidery for the most part. It is a sewing and embroidery machine, but I'm going to be doing embroidery for the most part as its main job. The grey one, that is my all-purpose everything machine, but I use that mostly for quilting. It has the extension bed. I am getting an extension bed for the MC1000. It's on back order, like the hoops that I got, the extra hoops, which I'm annoyed that they were still not here, and the extra thread spool holder that goes on the back of the MC1000. I can fit 5 embroidery threads, these guys I think, or maybe the small ones. Anyway, if you don't have that, you can go to Adam at ProSew and get yourself one of these. This is a spool holder. If you want to use larger spools of thread, because it's more economical too, or you're doing embroidery or whatever, you can get spools of thread about this size. How many meters? 5,000 meters? I don't know. This is color number 2168 and it is Sakura embroidery thread. Lot number 2000. Oh, fantastic embroidery thread. I love the feel. Runs through the machine. Oh, fabulous. Good thread. Adam, ProSew, Port Macquarie. If you're in the area, you can get it. I think you can order it on his site online. There is a online website under ProSew. Just look up on Google ProSew Port Macquarie, and they have a website, they have a Facebook page. Go have a look. I will put, hopefully if I remember to, I will put his details on the edit, on the video. But yes, Sakura embroidery thread, 2 thumbs up. Thread stand, awesome. Stick that on there, pull your thread over through this guy, and then you can run it from here over to the first thread guide, then through the second one, and then thread as normal. You can use larger spools then, and then you're not having to change. If you're doing a lot of sewing and you don't feel like using the little guys, use a big one or a little one. It doesn't matter. I think it's great that if you can use big cones of thread, I'd use big cones of thread. Or up to you what you want to do. So that's that. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. Where's the foot? Okay, here we go. Foot up, yes, because I don't want the feed dogs to be scraping underneath my presser foot and damage it. Like a lot of machines, well, I know with the Singer machines and most Janome machines, the foots on most machines have a little lever on the back. You can press that, foot comes off. Okay, nice and easy. Line it up, drop your, press the foot lever down, line it up, there we go, and then you can just snap on the foot. So snap on feet, awesome. I don't understand why I know in some of the Singer machines they have feet that are, it's like friction fit, you push them and they snap on, and then to remove them you've got to kind of yank them. I've tried those machines, don't like that, because sometimes they're really hard to put on, hard to take off. I've stabbed myself. Oh, I don't like it. Is it really that expensive to put a little thingamajigger? I don't think it is. But anyway, that's that. We have the presser foot on this machine is just standard up, down with a little extra lift. Look at that. Love that. Especially at a machine at this price point, $330. I mean, okay. Normal retail price $550. I would expect that it would have extra lift. Do you need it? I don't know. Maybe if you're doing a lot of thick stuff, quilting, yes. Quilting, yes. But my grey one has extra lift. My Janome, extra lift. That Janome does not. No. This Singer is just standard up and down, so yeah, extra lift is always welcome. So awesome. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. Here we go. Nice. Sounds like a typical sewing machine, but nice and smooth. Motor's working, so let's, oh, you know what I love? This foot pedal, I hate dead spots. You know, if you have, I don't know if you have, but if you have noticed, when you put your foot on a pedal, and as soon as you start depressing it, there's a dead spot where there's nothing, and then it goes. This, as soon as I put my foot on, the very second I put enough pressure and it just starts to move, it's on, yeah? So that's probably as slow as you can go. And this is as fast as you can go. Oh, she bounces on this table. This table is terrible for sewing machines. I thought I was being real slick and going, you know what? I'm just gonna get 2 trestle tables from Bunnings and I'm gonna use them as sew. For the most part, they work. But they're not great in terms of sturdiness. They are blow mold plastic picnic tables, basically, trestle tables, and it wobbles. The machine jiggles and wobbles, so it's an unfair, what can I say? It's not the machine's fault that it's wobbling on the table, it's the table. If this was a sturdy table, no, you know what? I'm gonna hold the machine. Do not try this at home, kids. I'm gonna hold the machine up like this, yeah? See, very minimal vibration. It does jiggle a little bit. There's moving parts. Most machines would jiggle, okay? But for the most part, it's pretty stable. Okay, I'm sure once I have better tables, they're not gonna jiggle. It has rubber feet, yeah? Yep, 4 rubber feet. Great. That's pretty good for speed. Nice, that's pretty fast. I wonder what that is. I think it's, maybe that's what it's saying with the speed 1000. Is that 1000 stitches per minute, or is that just 1000 RPM plus minus 100? Because I know that guy up there does 1100 stitches per minute at full pelt. I've never needed to use it at full pelt unless I'm winding a bobbin. That's the only time I use full pelt. But in a sewing situation, I don't go any faster than that. Maybe that. I mean, the faster you go, the more squirrely you get. And if you're a pro sewer and you can go really fast, then go really fast. I prefer to take my time. It's not a race, and I'd like to have my things work out, and the less mistakes I do, the better. And so I go slow and steady. There's a few spots if I'm going down long straight pieces that I'm not going to have so much issue of it wriggling around. I might go as fast as I can go, but you know what? That's fantastic. It goes. It's excellent. Nice. Love it. Okay, so this is the Singer 4411. What do you think, guys? Do you like it? Do you not like it? If you don't like it, you're a savage. No, jokes aside, I just love it because it's pink. I've wanted a pink machine. I've always wanted a pink machine, and you know, colored machines. Come on, guys. I don't care what brand you belong to. Colored machines. You want people to get excited about sewing. You want people to be enthusiastic about, you know, the sewing industry, whatever, what have you. Make machines fun, you know. Start with fun colours. I can't emphasize that enough. Sewing machines can be pretty boring. They're white. Most of them are white. Most of them are very pedestrian in terms of it looks like a refrigerator. It's white, and it doesn't need to be super fancy, but I think, is it really that expensive to spark them up, you know, jazz them up, give them a bit of colour, give them a bit of flair, put some decals, huh? What about some fun decals? I mean, I was so mad that Australia didn't have the pink version of this machine until now, but I was like, oh, I can't believe other countries have pink machines, so I went and stuck butterflies and flowers and diamantes and stuff all over my grey one, because I was like, oh, I wish I had a pink machine, because I know the older generation singers, they came in multiple colours. Janome machines came in multiple colours. A lot of different brands had limited edition colours, like I think if you want young people, well, any person, to be enthusiastic about sewing, creating, that's what it's about. It's about creating. It's about artistry, creating, and having a way to express yourself and create the things that you love to create. Make your machines exciting and fun. Hello. I'm a pink girl, I like pink. You might not like pink. You might like a purple machine. What about a yellow one? What about a red one? Every colour of the rainbow. Is it really that expensive or hard in the process to put colour into a machine? I mean, the cosplay machine, most of the 44 series are about this, they're all about this size. And it's pretty well almost the same size as that one, except for the bed is a little longer under here, but I think the head part is about the same size. So, you know, the cosplay model is white with decals. with red decal writing, singers in red. This is in white. So I'm pretty sure if they could color the white plastic to make different colors, like, is it really that hard? I don't know. Is it really that expensive to do? I don't know. They make a pink one, so I'm sure they can make other colors. And I think that would make people more excited about choosing the machine, you know? I know when I was 12 and I first started to learn how to sew in high school, because for us in Australia, you go from kindergarten, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's primary school. High school for us is year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now your senior years in high school is year 11 and 12. So when I was in year 7, I was 12 years old and I had to do home economics, which was sewing, cooking, woodwork, metalwork. I did sewing in year 7 and I just loved it. My mum is a crocheter, can't even say the word, knitter and crocheter, if that's how you say it. She is amazing at doing that. For me, I'm not that great. I can barely crochet and I can barely knit. I don't understand it. But sewing, I love it. I love sewing. I love creating. I'm a hairdresser by trade, a nail tech by trade. I'm into the arts, like, not arts, artistic trades. I love sewing. I love creating. I love expressing fashion, my personality in fashion. I like making decor for my home, like my pillows, cases, pillow slips for my pillows, quilts, table runners, placemats. So I think if a brand wanted to become more attractive to a younger audience, because I don't know if it really matters to people as you get older. It does and doesn't for some people. Me, on the other hand, I think if you make a machine that is exciting and fun, that can attract the younger crowd, then I think that is something that you should do. Because, God, if I could choose a machine in the color that I wanted, then, you know, I reckon most young people would love to create and sew, and they will love their machine more because they can buy a machine that identifies with them. You know, I'm a pink girl, I love pink. Finally got a pink machine. Most sewing machines are white. How boring. I mean that one's grey, and I like the grey. The grey's nice, but if I had it my way, I'd have all the machines pink. But then again, maybe I'd have yellow and purple and green. I like any colour. I just think white's generic. Why, like, it's like a car. If you buy a car and it comes in an assortment of colours, then why would you pick Why would you pick white? You know, obviously white may be cheaper insurance-wise. It might be cheaper to buy because you're not paying for colour to paint. But the thing is that if you have an option to have colour, have a nice colour. You know, not just boring white. But then if white's white, then if that's all you've got and that's the only option, then I guess you just buy it white. But I think if you want to make people excited about your products, at least make them come in different colours, because I'm a sucker for that. I'm like, oh my god, pink, yes. If it was purple, oh, I love purple. Green makes it exciting. Okay, so I think this video has gone long enough, but thanks again for joining me on my ADHD filled rant and side notes and quests, and I don't know where I went with some of the things I was talking about, but thank you for coming and joining me and coming to check out this new girl. I mean, it's not really, is it a girl? I don't know. Let's not go there, yeah? I just love it. And I'm really, really, really happy that I got it. I'm very spoiled. I paid off all of my debts that I had because I was anticipating this machine coming and I didn't want to miss out. So I made sure that I would be able to buy it, and because I had spoken to Singer through their email contact, and I pestered them. They had mentioned a few details about seeing my videos on the socials, on Facebook, and they were enjoying my enthusiasm, which was really, really nice to have them comment on my enthusiasm, because I am an enthusiastic person and passionate, sometimes irritatingly passionate about certain things, and so it was really lovely for them to contact me on their Facebook site, and so they had given me an email to leave them a kind message about certain things that I wanted to ask them, what machines were coming to Australia, what colours, yada yada yada. And it was really lovely for them to reply, and I know they were, you know, have to be tight-lipped about, you know, when they were going to release, in case someone was like, oh well, they're going to release it on this day. So look, I'm glad that they brought this machine to Australia, because I really, really wanted a pink machine, and I love it. So there you go. Here's the pink 4411. Once again, thanks guys for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.